Starfleet Underground. Every week, we'll take a look at the latest Star Trek news and then check out a current or classic episode of Star Trek.
Hold on to your butts. It's a fast and furious pod race on a world with mind readers, Starfleet, and some savage kids. Jankom is a speed freak, Dahl goes face-to-face with Janeway, and Rok-Tahk's the only sensible one around. Plus, there is a Meta-Murf-osiss.
What the fuck? How in the world do you have a leaf or some sort of plant growing on the top of your head, Doc? What do you mean you ran into the biotonics and you got all that soil in your head? You didn't get Rocky to clean you up?
He stole my soil.
You growing leaf, but now you look like a budding pop top.
I think that's a budding dot pop, sir. He's a budding dot pop.
A budding cock pop.
Well, he's a budding pop.
A budding butt plug? What?
Pudding jello pop? What?
What the
He's a budding pop, but he's a budding dot pop.
Wait, no.
Do you stick those in your butt?
I hope
You
not.
cannot wear it as a hat. He says he could use it as a hat, the leaves. No.
It's not real. It's fake.
You can't do that.
It doesn't work like that. Oh no! Now he's going through all the plants. He's trying different plants.
The banana. The banana. The hot banana. Yeah.
Oh my god! You can't do that, Todd.
Oh, great. Now the Tribbles are bouncing on the console playing something called a Chia Pet.
That's a new game for Tribbles. The Chia Pet.
Oh my god.
Chia.
Oh my goodness. Today is a day. Oh crap. And we're broadcasting. Of course we are. I'm not going to even try to get this thing quiet before we start anymore. Those are the old days. Any rate, before we get started, to let you know that if you're under the age of consent, you cannot listen to us. You must go away. You cannot have the goo-goo. No goo-goo for you.
What?
Come back.
You don't want Nathan's goo-goo.
If you see a man driving around in a van and is asking if you want some goo-goo,
No. You cannot have
Only
goo-goo.
do it if he has candy.
Yeah,
If he doesn't
you
have
gotta
candy.
see the candy first. Just make sure there's candy first. That's all I'm
And
saying.
make sure it's not stale Tootsie Rolls. 'Cause they're
No,
the
I want
worst.
candy.
Well, that's what happens when you pull down your pants. You steal Tootsie Roll.
Ew.
Oh,
Yeah, but after handling it and in your mouth for a while, it gets soft and gooey. So there's that.
as long as it's not chewy.
Oh my God, we went off on a deep end. Okay, first off, thank you for joining this perverted ship here on the USS Butler. We have a full crew complement today. We have our science officer.
Hi, I'm Heather Ferris. I'm the science officer, and the dots and the tribbles are stealing from my biolab. So I would really appreciate to have all of those plants back. We are using them for, a purpose. There is a purpose to having them on the ship.
As long as they don't learn how to smoke the plants, I think we'll be fine.
This is true.
Oh, goodness. You didn't. I wish you hadn't given Dot that idea, because now he's doing it.
Oh,
And
did I
it's
say
the
that
wrong-
loud?
It's the wrong plant. You don't smoke that plant.
That's just a fire hazard.
That's in a different room.
And who is that guy we got off the ship? I don't remember his name now because he's not on the ship. We get rid of him because he was a horny little bastard. What was his name again? The one that tried to molest the fake cosplay Borg.
I don't know. So much of that has happened. I'm trying to think of which one you're
Spoimler?
talking about.
No, it wasn't Boiler. It was the guy we get
I
rid
know
of.
exactly who it is. It's more fun just listening to you try to figure it out.
I can't remember his name. I had him transferred to Starbase 80.
Damn.
Starbase 80?
Tucker.
That's right. Tucker.
It's
Thank you.
Tucker. Tucker's pretty forgettable.
Well, one of the last gifts I think he gave us is I went to horticulture
Crabs.
to look at the plants and stuff that's over there, and he emphasized the word whore. So it's horticulture.
Oh my.
So
You guys are so mean to Tucker.
I don't know how we get into
He
Starfleet.
deserves it. He deserves every bit of it.
Seriously. The last trick before he went, he stuck a broom up his ass and was
Oh.
carrying food. He says this way he could sweep the corridors at the same time.
He also said he learned that from number one.
Oh, number one, you did broomsticks?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, number one doesn't use a broom.
I've never swept in my life.
He uses a vacuum.
I think he interrupted number one in a holodeck. Maybe that's what it was.
Hey,
No.
So what happened to you? Because last week you were in some sort of cocoon and we're taking bets that you're going to come out looking like
a fairy.
a cross between Vin Diesel with wings. So what happened when you were in that cocoon, number one?
Are you a fairy now?
I ended up getting COVID.
Oh.
And you cocooned yourself to protect us?
Yep.
Oh, dude, that's so sweet. See, Heather, I told you.
You were right.
Stupid holodeck program. Someone turned the safeties off and I went back to 21st century Earth and some fucker gave me COVID.
Never
Ouch.
turn off the safeties in the holodeck.
Never.
I didn't. Someone turned it off on purpose.
It was probably Tucker.
So if all of a sudden you hear me coughing really loudly or sniffling, it's because I'm still on the tail end of it.
And I didn't edit it out.
or you didn't mute.
I really think that's what happened because I remember Tucker was trying to hit on you because he fancied himself a bisexual and you looked him up and down and said, bitch, please. So I really think he did that as revenge. Asshole. Okay, speaking about bitch, please, I have my communications person's ambassador and computer person, number one.
That's me, Patrick. I'm computer guy, foreign species liaison, and COVID recovering person.
I'm glad you're feeling better. The EMH didn't tell me, I guess, because of HIPAA violations. I should have known what was going on with you, so I apologize.
Do we still have those on the starship?
I think so. Normally, we're okay.
They always share the medical information with the captain.
Yeah, supposed to, but they didn't.
And for some reason or another, he couldn't synthesize a vaccination for me to get rid of my symptoms.
Again, that was probably Tucker's farewell present.
Yeah.
I mean, he was something else. I'm glad he's off the ship. Also, the person I'm eternally grateful for because of the modifications he did on my cabin is I have heated floors now. So our wonderful winner of the O'Brien Award.
Yeah. What the captain doesn't know is his quarters is directly above a heat exchanger.
Look where they are. They're above the primary heat exchanger.
Wait, was that you? Was it that fucking camera that follows us around doing voiceovers now as well as music?
I'm telling you, that's a conspiracy that Heather brought up.
I know, seriously. It's like I wake up in the morning, I think it's going to be a good day. And then I hear a little voice go, in fact, he'll find out it would not be a good day.
It's got the Morgan Freeman plug-in.
I know.
Oh, I love
If
that.
the captain's over the primary heat exchangers, we can't have any weapons fire.
You know, so what are we supposed to use? Harsh language?
Yes.
Isn't that what we do normally?
God.
Oh,
You guys are great.
It's an aliens reference,
aliens,
Heather.
yep, totally.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. I'm Rocky. I'm engineer of the show and the ship, and I'm just happy to be here. Shout out to Team Artemis, the people at NASA that launched their latest invention up into space and is heading toward the moon as we record this.
Yeah, in fact, artificial people everywhere were celebrating because this is the first time a mannequin's going to land on the moon. So they're actually posing in all the stores and everything. They're just beside themselves. So they're doing posing, playing Madonna's song.
The dots are really excited because of automated technology. So, except for the one with the pop on its head. I don't know what's going on with that thing.
It's happening. And they all are thanking, apparently Ronald D. Moore had something to do with it since he put on For All Mankind on Apple TV. So apparently NASA and them watched the show and goes, yeah, why the fuck not? Let's put a base on the moon.
We need moon base.
Yeah, let's call it Happy Valley. So it's beginning to happen.
Aren't we like 60 or 70 years like late from having a moon base? Because wasn't it like, hey, let's go up to the moon and check it out. Hey, let's have a moon base. But they kind of like skipped that.
Moonbase Alpha Space 1999.
You're never too late for a moon base.
No, and it happened in the 60s on the show. And For All Mankind, it's a good show if you guys haven't seen it. If you have Apple
And so
TV.
is Space 1999 if you haven't seen it.
It's also really good. I was in love with the owl girl.
Maya.
Yeah, so it was that.
Yay, new TV.
Got a question before we get going, since we're rambling all over the place. Did you ever watch Pluto TV, Heather?
No. I mean, I turned it on. I looked through the TV guide because it reminded me of the TV guide, old school and everything. And I saw that it had Doctor Who and I got really excited and I turned it off and said I'll watch it later.
Well, that's what happens. Oh, by the way, if anybody wants any leftover cake in the galley, it was a celebration for Heather's birthday. So my science
thank you,
officer
Captain.
had her birthday today.
I thought they left the cake out in the rain.
I did not cook the cake.
No,
I just want to point that out.
I thought the cake was a lie.
the cake is a lie.
He said no one got my mahogany reference. But
I
that's
got your mahogany reference.
I'm laughing at the portal reference.
So the portal reference happened when you go to cut the cake and the cake somehow vocalized, "I'm different." So it was quite cool little party. Oh, that's right. I didn't invite anybody who was near just to ship.
Yeah, nobody showed up. I'm sitting there waiting, and I ate all the cake myself. It was good.
Well, I had COVID, so that's my excuse.
Well, and you were cocooned, so there's that.
Yeah, you can't roll a cocoon into a birthday party.
No.
We
But
could
I
make
will-
the cocoon into a cake.
Yeah,
And you
but I
don't
did-
want to serve the cocoon as a birthday cake.
Oh,
No,
okay.
especially not when it's got a COVID patient inside.
Right.
Okay.
Not good.
What? I thought heating it up would kill the COVID part, but
No.
I heard almost all of medical, though, when you came out of the cocoon was there because they like that noise. So,
like
was that.
opening up a soda pop.
yeah, so they did like that. First off, while you were cocooned and you came out, I assumed the first thing you checked to see if we had corrections.
Yes, let me see here. Subspace.
So you didn't check it.
Subspace. No corrections. We are perfect.
As
Woohoo.
always. Wait, what do you want? I thought the transporter inhibitors kept you from coming into my quarters. What do you mean Section 31 will always find a way around it? No, go. Okay, I'm going to do it now. What do you mean you're listening to it live? Fine, go tell Purple Boimler I'm going to do it. Okay, thank you. Today's show is being brought to you by Section 31, as well as our Patreon people who continually donate to us to help us pay for the show, as well as spade and neuter tribbles and send them away on mini vacations because life of a tribble apparently is stressful, which is quite cool. Also, the show is brought to you by those that buy our merchandise from the gift shop. Thank you kindly. We have all kinds of stuff for a discerning Star Trek fan.
Wait,
And-
people buy our shit?
Yeah, actually they do. And thanks to our listeners. We have our extremely loyal listeners who make themselves known to us. And then we also have listeners that don't make themselves known to us. We're grateful for the both of you.
Well, they're just embarrassed that they listen to us. That's why.
And probably it's our dirty little secret, like Calgon. Okay, we're going to jump right into the news of the week. Hey, birthday woman, what
Woo.
news do you have for us?
I'm 41. Woohoo! Oh wait, that's not the news. So I have several different news stories.
Wait, you're not 20?
I'm not in my 20s. I'm old.
Last time I saw you, looked like you were just about out of your 20s.
Seriously?
Aw, thank you.
You look like you just broke the suction from breast milk. You look
guys
so
are so
young.
sweet. Wait, what?
Like a baby.
Ew. So our next one is this is episode 150. So we are 150 episodes
We've done 150?
into this podcast. Yes.
Whoa.
You've done 150
episodes?
Mm-hmm. Isn't that
Holy
amazing?
shit.
I know, right? It happened fast. I've enjoyed every single one of them.
150 episodes, 2 starships, and unfortunately, we've lost people along the way.
Yeah.
But it's definitely
We
been
miss ya.
a deep voyage. We've lost guests and we lost a valued crew member.
Yeah.
So, but 150 episodes, damn.
But you gained a fabulous crew member.
That's true. The one that likes to cocoon himself.
And we watched a lot of Star Trek.
Hey,
A lot.
I'm protecting the crew. So
Yes, you have
So-
been sanitized for our protection.
Wait, I don't think that's sanitizer, Captain. I think that's
Oh.
a glistening. Yeah, you don't want to touch
Lubrication.
that. Yeah.
Uh-oh. What happened? Do we have an intruder? I just heard the forward sensor go off.
that was my cabin. We're good.
Is
Did
the ship
Tucker get
approaching
in?
your cabin? Did Tucker come?
Tucker went in.
One of the dots came in with lube.
That
you gotta
budding
be
dot
careful
bomb.
when you say that out loud because they like to share their lube.
Yeah, they do.
Just
I
double
know.
check and make sure it's lube and not WD-40.
Well, yeah,
One of the-
it was WD-40. That's what.
They're
Okay.
learning to talk. It really is like I heard them yell, "Very butt plug." So
Very
okay, continue with the news, please.
That's discriminatory.
Oh,
You
HR.
can't call it a fairy butt plug.
I said furry. F-U-R-R.
Oh, God.
Oh,
So
I think
it's just
fairy.
No, I said a furry.
Furry, not fairy.
That's right.
Furry.
I said furry. You speak, Nathan. Shut the fuck up.
That's a tribble. That's not a butt plug. It's a tribble.
This is
With a
just
spike.
another thing you don't want to Google.
With a spike in it.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so my other news for this week is director Jonathan Frakes revealed that the Star Trek Strange New Worlds crossover with Lower Decks is a comedy. So it is a pure comedy. That's one of the brand new things we learned. Another thing that we learned is earlier this year, it was announced that the crossover episode will bring Ensign Beckett Mariner and Brad Boimler into the live action world, while Captain Pike is going to be getting the 2-dimensional treatment. So he's going to go into the cartoon world. So that should be very interesting.
Cool.
That sounds like it's going to be a load of fun.
Right?
Hashtag Spoimler.
Oh, yes.
That's Spock and Boimler.
I wonder if they could come up with a new move for that. I'll have to keep my eye out for it. Hey, number one, what do you got for news-wise?
Well, if any of you guys went to Star Trek Mission Chicago last April, ReedPop announced that the next convention would be in Seattle at Memorial Day weekend 2023. But guess what?
They lied!
They lied. After
Those
careful consideration,
bastards!
unfortunately, the decision has been made to not move forward with the Star Trek Mission Seattle event in 2023. We are working on new ways to bring our favorite Trek fans the optimum experience, and we look forward to celebrating together in the future. Now, Trek Movie has confirmed that ReedPop still continues to hold license for Star Trek conventions in the USA, and they'll share more information on future events when it's available. But there's no indication of when or where the next Trek convention will be held.
Those fuckers.
The only official thing left is the Star Trek cruise.
Mm-hmm.
But
I was looking forward to that, and I'm not going on the cruise.
yeah, cruises are expensive.
Well, not to mention,
You
it's
gotta
like
get
if
there
you
like 2 years in advance too.
if you think con crud is bad when you go to a convention, cruise crud is
It's all
even
orgies,
worse.
right? It's all orgies on the cruise. So
Wait, it's an orgy cruise? Never mind. I'm changing my mind. I'm gonna go. That sounds pretty interesting, actually.
The Star Trek convention's been canceled. You can actually go to FedCon in Bonn, Germany. It's the same week. It's the last weekend of May.
That's in
2023.
Germany.
Yeah.
the transporter won't take her all the way to Germany without extra like 50 cents or whatever.
Yeah, and I am not doing those old fashioned, whatever the fuck you want to call them. I'm not doing those airplanes where you're in there for 13 hours. That is so old school. Give me a teleporter any day of the week, or transporter.
You know what pisses me off about all of this stuff, hearing things getting canceled like this? It's like somebody magically said the word recession, and next thing you know, all the tech companies are laying people off or firing everybody for some reason.
Twatter.
Yeah. And then you hear the conventions like, oh, why could they not possibly, they haven't sold any tickets. Everyone's saying like, it must have been low ticket sales. They haven't even started selling the tickets officially yet. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, what the fuck? And if you want to go off of previous experience, well, the only time they previously ran a Star Trek convention, this company, ReedPop, was the last time around where it was middle of COVID. And, you know, all us Trekkies are really, really, protective about the whole COVID thing. A lot of them expressed not wanting to go out in public, even for a Star Trek convention. So it's even with masks on. Some people just like to say, no, we're not going to this. So it's kind of like nobody's coming out in droves because they're trying to be safe. So it's kind of hard to do a convention with everyone trying to be safe still.
I would go if I was wearing a dinosaur costume, the blow up dinosaur costume that's completely like insulated. And you can't that would be like one full body mask. Then I would go.
There's one big negative of that, because if you fart, the air is just, you're trapped in your own fart smell.
Yeah, but you like the smell of your own farts. Everybody likes the smell of their own farts. Okay, Patrick doesn't like the smell of his farts, but everyone else likes the smell of their
Chipotle, you're
farts.
going to burn that suit to the ground.
Don't get that joke, because every time I have Chipotle, I feel good after that. And it's like everyone who... I think the people who make that joke eat chips and frozen foods and really horrible shit, and then they have good food, and then now their body's reacting to it. Like Chipotle's good food.
Triggered.
Sorry.
Everyone I've ever talked to said Chipotle's given them the runs.
Well, everybody has a really shit diet.
It never really gives me the runs. I usually order the good stuff. So there's that.
Yeah, I've had good stuff every single time with Chipotle.
And if you want to do a sponsorship Chipotle, we're down for that shit.
Free food.
Literally shit.
Free food.
Okay. And Chief?
So Jonathan Frakes was really, really verbose with the Trek movie interview. And they've got a second part that's going up that we'll probably talk about next week, where he's talking a little bit more about the latest season of Picard. But he was talking about all that Strange New Worlds Lower Decks things, and that was wonderful. But he also mentioned that he was talking about the Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month. And this month is Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month. And the actual World Pancreatic Cancer Day was November 17th. And I thought this was kind of interesting because I learned a bunch of stuff I didn't know about Jonathan Frakes. His brother passed away due to pancreatic cancer. And it's a 4% survival rate. It's not good. And they're working on it. They're trying to work, trying to get better at it. And they were, doing the old fundraising kind of thing. World Pancreatic Cancer Day. Just go to pancan.org, PANCAN.org. And you can find out more about what you can do and to help and all this and that. And it was interesting to hear the tie-in, the Star Trek tie-in. We may have mentioned this before. Armin Shimmerman's wife, Kitty Swank, also actually she's got a survivor. She's a survivor of pancreatic cancer, which is extremely rare. And it was very interesting to hear them get together and talk about getting involved with this charity and being aware about.
It is very, very rare. My mom was claimed by pancreatic cancer. What makes pancreatic cancer so deadly is the fact that it's hidden. You don't know anything is wrong until it's metastasized throughout your lower abdomen. That's what happened with my mom. She didn't know she had it, and she had a wound that was on her stomach that wasn't healing right. So she went to the hospital, and they imaged her, and they found that she had stage 4. It was all through her body.
Yeah,
and
usually they don't find it until it's stage 4.
Yeah, and by then she
sorry.
hung on for about. Once they diagnosed her, she was gone within a couple of months. So, which is unfortunate. And we lost another friend to it. And everyone famously knows Patrick Swayze died from pancreatic cancer. So it's
Apple fans would know Steve Jobs.
Yeah, and Steve Jobs also. And shows that no matter how much money you have and everything else, it comes down to timing and luck. I will give you one of the things that I did find out. That for pancreatic cancer, since there's no real indication. However, there are some markers that they found. One is if you find yourself getting full when you normally never get full. They found that if you eat and you don't feel full, you feel full on a little bit of food, that's because the cancer is pressing against your stomach and you should go in rather than wait. Another thing is if you get random back pains that just won't go away for some reason. They said could be another indicator that you can go and get your check. And also, Team I information, if your stools are coming out yellow, they said those are all pointers that you should get yourself checked for it.
Tucker just ran out of the room, and I think he's headed to sick bay, just so you know.
How the fuck did he get back on the ship?
I think he transported himself on here. I don't know.
This is the moment you've been waiting for, Dot. Okay? Activate security mode. Uh-oh.
Right
Go get her. Wait. I didn't authorize for you to have spikes coming out. Now, why are you playing the Mad Max Thunder Road theme song? Just go get him.
After seeing that, he'll definitely stay off the ship.
Okay, that explains some things. All right. Is that true for your news there, Chief?
Pretty much.
Okay, then I have news. I was I don't collect them like I used to. When I was younger, I was a massive comic book fan. In fact, I still have a whole bunch of comic books stored in storage that one day I plan to sell for my retirement. I collected comic books since the face price was like 5 cents on the cover. I know, a long, long time. And they are my pride and joy back in the day. I used to be able to look at a book and tell you exactly what the street value was and the condition. That skill, however, has been lost to time. However, what not has been lost in time is that Golden Key used to put out a bunch of books. And for those of you that remember, they had the Donald Duck and Scrooge McDuck and a bunch of other things that was underneath their title. And they decided back in 1967 to do a Star Trek run. And so they published 61 issues of Star Trek. However, that very first issue, that was in a near mint. I'm talking 9.6 out of 10 on the grayscale. It's near mint plus. That means the comic's extremely well preserved and only minor handling defects. Guess how much it sold for?
How much?
$46,500.
Wow.
Damn.
One book that you bought back in 1967 for like 12 cents, maybe. $46,000.
And now you could buy a car with that.
Well, half a car.
Half a car.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, since nobody wants to buy a Tesla anymore because of that ass.
You could buy a week's worth of gas.
That's
Right.
true.
You can go to Chipotle for a few weeks.
And the medical care afterwards.
For your burning butthole.
And it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire. The ring of fire.
Now, I know you guys, for the recap, you heard me for 2 weeks in a row. And for those of you that wanted to hear me for 3 weeks in a row, well, you're out of luck. I'm not doing it this week. Our science officer is back on duty and she's doing the recap.
Yay! Okay, so this week we did Star Trek Prodigy, Season 1, Episode 14, Crossroads. It first aired November 17th, 2022. Act 1. It's a small universe. Gwyn's father is starting to remember, beginning with his daughter's name. Meanwhile, our Prodigy crew still wants to talk to Starfleet. So they park their ship down the street, put Janeway into sleep mode, and put a camouflage car cover over it, hoping the locals won't steal it. Rok takes the cocooned Murf and they walk to the nearest transportation hub, trying to hitch a ride to Starfleet. They almost hitchhike with a serial killer, but the cops capture him before they go anywhere. Meanwhile, Admiral Janeway is at the same transportation hub looking for the Denobulan that abandoned the destroyed relay station. Rok tries to ask for a ride from Janeway's Vulcan officer, but is ignored. Jankom gets a little further by asking Janeway's Tellarite for a ride, but is insulted and distracted when he is called a runt. Gwyn tries a Klingon and is saved by Starfleet, who immediately recognizes her as her father's daughter. After years of trauma, one mention of Gwyn's father has her fleeing.
Boop, boop.
That dude, I really don't like him. Whoever does the voice of him does a great job of making me want to toss my cookies.
John, not John North, but
Noble.
John Noble. Yeah, he was in Lord of the Rings, and he was in Fringe.
Oh, that's right. He's in Fringe. I met him. Nice guy. Betrays the from his voice, though. I don't like him when he's evil.
He's very good at it.
Which character are we talking about?
The Diviner.
Gwyn's dad.
The Diviner.
Oh, the Diviner. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gwyn's dada.
Yeah.
Where's your daddy?
When the bad guy starts remembering shit, that's not good.
We remembered his daughter's name. That was good.
Yeah. He had a flashback moment.
I was wondering, why was he up walking around in that condition? Like, he looked really fucking weak. I mean, I know he needed some exercise, but you just got the one ensign, helping him around. I think they needed a little bit more work on him.
They didn't have the gown with the ass view on him.
Thank
I
God.
thought he'd be walking around carrying that little stick with the IV fluid in him or something.
Yeah.
But no, but he did look frail. I will give him that. He did look frail.
That's good acting for a cartoon. I thought it was amazing how cute Murf was, even as a piece of luggage.
Murf is adorable. He was even doing the chirps and everything inside the cocoon. Like it was
so cute.
It was hilarious. Rok is talking to Murf, and Murf is in the cocoon responding with the little chirps and everything. It's like, oh my God.
That is adorable.
Chirp, chirp.
It was so... No, it's only cute when he does it. It's not cute when you do it.
Well,
Sorry.
Eat dick.
Okay, come here.
I know, no.
HR, I think we got some problems going on over here on the ship.
Help.
So changing the subject, the serial killer did you guys recognize him? Because he's actually an established character that we've seen before. Do you know who he is?
Serial killer?
Yeah, he was the serial killer dude. It's like you walk up to a guy that has like bad vibes and ask to hitchhike with him, and he ends up being a serial killer. That's what this dude was.
That was not a serial killer.
No,
That's
I
the
know.
outrageous Okana.
What was his name?
Outrageous Okana.
Yup.
Yeah.
But his first name's not outrageous, but you're talking about the Next Generation Season 2, Episode 4, The Outrageous Okana.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But he was also in Lower Decks Season 2, Episode 5, An Embarrassment of Duplers.
That's
As
right.
well as in this episode. And his name is Thadian Okana. And it's pretty interesting because in the Next Generation episode, that happened in the year 2365. The Lower Decks episode happened 20 years later in 2381. And then this Prodigy episode happened 3 years after The Embarrassment of Duplers in 2384.
And it was played by the amazing Billy Campbell.
Woo! Which was back to reprise his role.
The very sexy, very yummy Billy Campbell.
He was sporting that eye patch. Is that an authentic eye patch, or is it just for looks?
It's authentic.
Probably just for looks.
Should be authentic. For those of you that aren't aware, he also meant Deanna Troi, who called him a rogue.
Yeah.
He had a quick wit.
He's basically
And-
Star Trek's Han Solo.
Yeah.
Did he shoot first?
Yeah, exactly. Somebody's got to shoot first. I thought it was funny because it really, really was channeling my Star Wars vibes because they arrive on this little depot and, I could not watch it without hearing, "You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy." It just, and then Pog is like, "This place is a junkyard." And I'm like, wait a minute, you're an engineer. Shouldn't you be excited about junkyards? I thought junkyards were cool.
Yeah, but also
They thought so too.
to pick up on your Star Wars vibe, next section, they have the pod racers. So it felt very Star Wars.
Another Star Wars vibe. Yeah.
Star
But it was
Warsy.
fun.
For those of you that want to see a younger version of this guy, he's in a TNG episode, The Outrageous Okuna. So,
Thank you, Captain.
and that was second season, episode 4.
Thank you, Captain.
Wow. You are...
What?
Stop smoking your butt hair.
It said that? Somebody said that already?
Yeah, Heather said it.
I always like that he mentioned because they were chatting, trying to get a transport from them, and then he's like, we can do warp 4, and Pog's like, fuck warp 4, but Zero is like, that's okay, he'll negotiate down, and he's like, oh fuck, a mind reader, great, you have to negotiate with a mind reader.
He's desperate, he'll be fine.
That was kind of cute. I mean, Han Solo never had to deal. Well, I mean, they were Jedis, but they weren't like mind readers. But that's a nuanced thing with Star Trek. You get a mind reader. That's kind of cool.
Another thing is, if you are going to park your ship in a haven for smugglers and thieves, why the fuck would you park right outside the bar? Like, people have metal detectors. They can find a big-ass ship under ice.
I thought it was pretty close. I mean, it was convenient. It was like, oh, he'll just put the ship on ice. It was like, oh, they're not cloaking it. They're burying it. Okay, that's cute.
They're in a bad neighborhood.
They're literally on ice.
Yes.
No one will look there.
It's like, no, metal detectors are obviously not a thing in that century.
Well, the protostar's got that secret, whole like metal. It's not your standard metal. It's not your standard neutronium or whatever they use.
But how the hell did you melt it and then let it seal over you?
That's pretty impressive for some kids to be able to do that too, with a little bit of phaser work.
Yeah, really.
And then the reptilians, the Xindi.
The Xindi. Yeah, the Xindis.
The reptilians. We've seen them before too. So this is their first appearance.
That was the Enterprise opening.
In a Star Trek episode that they appeared at. And they were in Star Trek.
You've never seen the Xindi because you don't like Enterprise.
Have we gotten to those episodes yet?
It's season 4 in Enterprise. And I think we're only in season 2?
Yeah, I think they show up a little later.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. A lot later.
A lot.
So apparently I have been doing a time slip because Heather said stuff and for some reason it didn't register.
The episode was Outrageous Okana, sir.
Oh yeah, that's right. There was an episode that he was in called The Outrageous Okana.
I loved also the moment that Rok-Tahk is starting to talk about the weather.
Yes.
And Pog is like, what the fuck, are you a meteorologist now? And I'm like, how does Pog know what a meteorologist is?
Well, I love Rock's answer. She's like, maybe I am.
I'm telling you, Rok-Tahk is the new Weathergirl. That's cute.
Rock is awesome.
And I don't mean that in an offensive, male chauvinist way. Although when I think I hear the word Weathergirl, I think of those videos from the Spanish TV channels. Yeah.
The telenovelas.
Those Weather Girls. Oh my God. They dress differently than our Weather Girls.
No, those Weather Girls aren't real. I have to break it to you. They genetically make them in a lab. So they could have figures like that on the show.
I think Rock is my favorite character out of all of them.
I would love to get Rok-Tahk to do my weather on the weather forecast here. That would be awesome.
It would. Mm-hmm. Okay. Next section.
Captain. Act 2. Anti-heroes. Doll bumps into Janeway and instantly starts singing, "It's me, hi, I'm the problem, it's me. It's me, hi, I'm the problem, it's me." Okay, but before Dal can actually say anything meaningful, the Denobulan arrives, causing Dal to run before he's recognized. Gathering up the gang, they try to get away, but Starfleet joins in the chase. Go Pod Racer, go. Go Pod Racer, go.
This is not a singing show.
It totally is.
Heather is singing again. This is wonderful.
It totally is.
Do sabotage.
Sabotage. Bum, 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 bum. Dun, dun, dun.
It's totally not sabotage, but it's hilarious.
Now I know what that secret ingredient was in her birthday cake.
Yeah.
It wasn't
crack.
It wasn't anything to help me with singing. During the chase, they find the DM in the back seat. It's the serial killer. They find the serial killer back in the back seat of their pod. What the fuck are you doing here? Getting ready to assassinate someone? Instead, he gives our gang a tank of nitrous oxide and they jet out of there and into safety.
Nice.
They take the Dian with them to the protostar, surprising and unexpected hologram Janeway. Chia.
Our show, she was unexpected.
That whole thing was kind of funny. They did a little bit of Fast and Furious because they put Nas in it. So nitrous oxide just to speed it up.
That was a little bit ridiculous.
That was so
quite
funny.
entertaining. Chlorine trifluoride proportion. That's what I get for reading my notes.
Hold on to your butts.
But they said, hold on to your butts. And immediately I was thrown back into Jurassic Park.
Yes, that was a perfect Jurassic Park reference.
Hold on to your butt.
And he pops out of the storage as they throw his shit and he goes, well, this is awkward.
That was weird because I was not expecting him to smuggle himself in a starship.
No, that was kind of funny.
Pod racer.
That was kind of funny. Also what's funny is that when Dal hid behind the boxes and they're trying to talk about how they're, murderers and stuff. He's like, it could have been an accident.
It could be nice, guys. The way he disguised his voice was hilarious to hear because it's like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound like Dahl. It sounds like some other dude. That's hilarious.
But one of the things that I'm not liking so far is that Admiral Janeway, as she so corrected them, is so obsessed with finding Chipotle is that she's blinding herself to reason that she's not getting it. When they recognize all the crew of the protostar running away, she's like, they're just children.
Yeah.
So stop for a second. Why would children kill or kidnap Chipotle?
Yeah.
And destroy a star station.
Well, obviously, there's a lot more to the story.
Yeah, but she didn't pause for a moment to think. And that's got me concerned.
It's a single-minded focus, and that's not good.
Exactly.
Well, it's also the typical thing in shows made for children where you follow the kids along an adventure and the adults never pay attention to the children, like never give them their full due. It's either they're very much a suspect or they're just a bunch of kids.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
I would have got away with it, too, if it wasn't for you meddling children.
Right.
So,
Meddling kids, not meddling children.
But I was blown away at how Frex was like, they're savages.
Yeah.
And then Janeway says, that's a bunch of kids.
They're children. They're not savages.
And he didn't even try to get back to Starfleet. He's out there partying on a planet somewhere.
Yeah. They're like, what kind of Starfleet officer isn't fucking answering his hail? It's like he lets it go to voicemail.
The ones who were cocooned for COVID.
That's different. That's different. You can't answer. In fact, you could have answered. You could have, answered your chipper and just like. Hey,
I heard you in that cocoon. You were fucking playing Tetris.
It was Space Invaders.
So I thought, that explained it.
That'd be a fun thing to play while in a cocoon.
You hear Patrick's cocoon.
I love how the entire time Rok is the only one who is like sensible. Rok, when everyone comes together.
The deadly weapon.
Yeah.
I love Rok-Tahk. She's always on point.
I do too. She's like, this is the whole reason we left our ship. Come on, you guys.
Yeah, like we went out into the weather. Did I mention the weather? Oh yeah, we went out into this weather because we needed to get this thing done to tell people about the warning of the ship. And
yeah. So all of you talked to Starfleet and none of you told them about the deadly weapon?
Yeah.
What is wrong with you guys?
It's one of those things where a kid knows it's in trouble and won't tell you the truth about it.
Well,
because it's like, we kind of stole a starship and he kind of has a death weapon on it and we can't tell you about it because we're trying not to get caught. And she's missing her father and apparently we just heard you guys have her father looking for her. So we're not going to say a damn thing. And next thing you know is a bunch of kids are in this crazy adventure that they didn't need to get to in the first place.
Well, technically, I think Rok-Tahk is that way also, not only because she's mentally astute and got really good sense, she's also way older than all of them because of that time loop.
Well, yeah, that's possible.
No. Well, yeah, because of the time loop, but technically she's still 8.
Yeah, technically she's still 8, but mentally, she's been there for eons. So
right, because she went through like elementary school, middle school, high school, college
doctorates, and so technically
menopause,
meteorology.
She should be the smartest on the ship in a way. So physically she was in stasis, but mentally she was in that time warp thing.
That's a good point.
So I think that's it. And I do love her. I think she's awesome.
Rok is the best.
She's really awesome.
Yep, she is.
And so they're running to the ship and Janeway again. She's like Captain Ahab after the white whale.
Mm-hmm.
There's a protostar. But the only thing I think, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, where she finally is at the next section where she puzzles together that the kids couldn't have had anything to do with Chipotle.
Oh, I think she realized that as soon as she saw that they were kids.
Yeah, she started that little part of her brain kicked in.
So that's this section.
Well, it's interesting. I think she has an instant ability to judge character when she's talking with Dahl because Dahl's like right away. That was a cool moment just talking to Janeway, actual Janeway, and having spent all that time with her hologram to actually meet the actual Janeway is so cool. And right away she's challenging, but intellectually and educational at the same time, but still accepting. And Dahl's like at a loss for words. And honestly, I think a lot of us, if you got a chance to meet Kate Mulgrew for the first time, you'd be at a loss of words too, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'd sound like an idiot. I'd be like, "Hey, Keiko, hi."
But then she would come up and say something completely,
And how's that different from any other day?
Shush.
But she's a larger than life character, like the actress, but also the character on the show. She's larger than life.
Yeah, she's a big deal.
I think in retrospect, when she's back on the ship, she's going to realize that she should have had a hint that he was from the protostar because he called her captain. Oh, she's a vice admiral now. Yeah, and why would he call her captain unless it was
the hologram?
It's like she met him before.
A hologram.
Or she knows he heard of him before. He's definitely heard of Starfleet because she's like instantly, "Oh, you want to join Starfleet?" Oh, yeah. But that beautiful moment, he's super tongue-tied and she's like, "Just string a few words together."
And he's like, "I can't." And she's like, "It's okay. I do that all the time too."
Yeah. And then she says, "Fear of failure has killed more dreams than anything else. So don't be worrying about failing. Just go for it."
Mm-hmm. Which is, I think that was good.
And the other phrase that probably should be a T-shirt or a fortune cookie or something.
Hint, hint.
In Starfleet, you make it so.
Oh, that was a good one.
Wasn't that beautiful?
Yeah, that was really good.
That was probably my highlight of this entire episode was the moment Dahl actually met real Janeway.
Wait, the Ferengi just sent me a thing saying making it. So we may or may not have that on our shop. So who knows? I don't think they can copyright a phrase.
It's on its way, Captain. He's starting he's starting the vinyl print now.
It's either that one or hold on to your butts.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'm always holding on to my butt. Especially when I was in the Cocoon.
He's going to charge 40 bars of gold pressed latinum. It will not be that expensive if anybody wants to buy it once it's out.
My butt's that expensive.
Hello?
Yeah, yours can be handed out for free. But I like the way they put breadcrumbs because, all this little bit of information that she's gathering about Gwen and about Dal and the way this guy is acting, she should be able to eventually start putting it together. But we're not going to know. And that's the good thing about it. Even to show for kids, most good cartoons have stuff in for adults because they know we get trapped in the sofa and can't find the remote, so we'll just watch.
You can watch. I like to participate.
Ooh.
That's the holodeck.
Wow.
Especially my Cocoon.
And that explains what you're doing in there.
God, I think we need
Those
to
were
clean the
true.
filters again.
And turn on the safety protocols.
Yeah.
Well, I think he likes those turned off.
No, that's how I got COVID.
Yeah.
That's how he got COVID.
Turning off the safety protocols turns him on.
He likes playing with the Catan, the modification. So,
Should we go on to Act 3?
Yes.
yeah, we can.
Hi, Chief. Okay. Act 3. Catch me if you can. Janeway lost the kids. Oh, wait. Is that the Protostar? Follow those kids. Welcome to Warp 9.97. Perfect time for Murf to hatch and evolve into a budding Murf Paw. First things first, sit on the controls, fire a torpedo at Janeway, which, in fact, she fires back, crippling the ship. As our Prodigy crew limps away, they go into the neutral zone cloaked, hoping not to be followed. Janeway tries, but meets resistance. Her number one refuses to follow her orders and resigns in protest, and the Romulan soldiers call Janeway to tell her that they are at the border watching her, and if she takes one step into the neutral zone, it will be World War XIII.
Now we know where Twitter employees got the confidence to quit. It's from that first officer. It's like, I want everyone to work harder and later, and you got to sign a document. Fuck you, we're out.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. We don't want the show that bad.
Elon Musk.
No.
Who?
It's called
Muskie?
Muskie.
Oh, Muskie.
Yeah, but that was a smart idea for them to have to make the ship not available because there's not exactly windows on the starship. Not most. They're all viewing portals.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So when I had COVID, my voice was like really low and deep.
Like it is now.
Yeah, well, it was worse. It was more raspy and everything. I kept saying I sounded like Brenda Vaccaro. Guess what? It was her birthday yesterday.
You channeled her.
Yeah. But most of you guys don't know who Brenda Vaccaro is. You're too young.
Who is she?
She's an actress.
What was she in?
Your mom.
She had a strap on?
We went off on a tangent
Oh,
again.
brother. So meanwhile, y'all can Google that, IMDb that. I was the moment the Protostar is seen up against the Dauntless was, I mean, that ship is big.
It's the Dauntless or the Dauntless?
So big.
The Dauntless.
Yeah.
And then Zero
I've heard that before.
says, "Oh my."
I know, that was funny.
I don't know if anybody else caught that because
Yeah,
it was very
didn't catch
subtle,
that.
but it totally said, "Oh my." He did a George
That was
Takei.
funny.
Oh
That
my.
is awesome.
That was funny.
my.
The part that I liked was Zero when he was saying I wasn't swerving on purpose. I feel that.
Nice evasive maneuvers, but I'm not swerving on purpose. You're
I'm
doing
not
fine.
doing it on purpose.
And when Murf metamorphosized into these little, like, it looked like one of those things you see in a horror movie where the doll comes alive and it just can't walk straight, but it's bouncing from foot to foot.
I'm sorry. Murf was still cute.
He is adorable.
He was, but it was scary at first. And he's got a little water head.
Well, yeah, especially the first thing it does is sit up on the fucking torpedo launcher button.
And he's got a water head and everything else. And then now they think they're attacking them. So it was
Water
like,
on his head.
He's just the whole thing about, leaning up against the control panel. There's that great meme where Riker is leaning up against the control panel. Then he's not launching a torpedo. That's like literally the weapons panel that he's leaning up against. He did just fire all the phasers with his
Well,
butt.
he had the console locked. No, he had the console
ass
locked. They
has-
didn't lock the console.
but his ass has situational awareness. It always knows where it
It's
is.
either that
It
or
has gravitas.
the consoles know that apparently. They know one ass from another.
The console had a lock screen. So it's supposed to be on the lock screen, but when Murf sat on it, the lock screen was unlocked, and that's why.
I thought because Riker's always leaning up against the console so often that it knows his ass from everything else.
Well, maybe that's what happened. They got an imprint of his ass and said, okay, if we feel this, it's an automatic lock on the console.
Yeah. But Murf jumps up on the console. It doesn't know that ass, so it just fired a photon torpedo. Let's talk about comical timing.
I hope Janeway realizes they only fired one, so they should know that it might have been an accidental attack or a warning shot.
Well, the other side, it's just a bunch of kids, so we don't know what's going on. We don't know where their head is. That's a dangerous situation.
Plus, Murf just evolved. They didn't have his ass imprinted in the lock code.
Right.
It's a different ass.
Well, that's true.
He just evolved.
They're used to Murf being a slimy ass.
Yeah, but the chemical signature was the same, so.
But the shape wasn't.
He's all squeezy. But they gave us a cliffhanger, but not a season-ending cliffhanger, but they still gave us a cliffhanger because, Janeway's pissed off and the Romulans like, take another step. We triple dog dare you.
That was cool. I loved that they realized, it's a neutral zone. It says neutral right there in the name, but they realized, wait, Janeway can't follow us in there? Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, so now we're going to see how they're going to work their way out of this next episode. Mm-hmm. So, especially Patrick's going to be doing it.
The last phrase was the Romulan saying, "What? That's an act of war." And you get a close up of Janeway's reaction, being told that she's about to commit an act of war, and you see where she is mentally. We've seen Janeway before. Janeway does not respond to threats like that. Well, at least. So that's a very dangerous situation.
No. It's going to be interesting to see she's going to do the diploma or she's going to turn around and use the big nacelles on that ship.
Really, you don't threaten Janeway because she does not back down.
No. Did you mean diplomacy?
Yeah. Using the
you
big
said
nacelles.
diploma.
Well, if you graduated far enough, you get a diploma, then you can...
Diplomacy.
Yeah.
Well, she needs to learn from Pike that you just can't do it that way. Because last time you went to the neutral zone and tried shit, it just went not good.
Yeah, the neutral zone is not where you want to go to fuck around and find out.
No, they kind of need to change the name to it, though.
It's a not-so-neutral zone.
To what, the fuck around and find out zone?
Yeah, because even Pog is like, it's in the name. It's neutral.
You know what? I think that's a good thing. I'm going to see if I can bring up at the next staff meeting. Can we change it to the fuck around and find out zone?
Oh, yes. That's an accurate name for it.
There you go.
Or what Patrick suggested, make the zone. Patrick said no. So
Patrick said no zone?
Patrick said no. Wow. So can we go in here?
Nobody wants to go in that zone.
No, it's the no zone. Don't want to go to the no zone.
I didn't think that the zone existed. I thought everybody was welcome.
No zone.
It all depends on his mood.
Oh, okay.
Well, this was a fun episode. I will say.
Oh, it was a great
I
episode.
Did like the episode. I really did like it. However,
it was too short, though.
All these episodes are too short.
Yeah, they are.
But they're designed for kids to watch.
Technically, it's a longer episode because it has a part 1 and a part 2. So technically, this episode is an hour long.
They didn't even name it part 1 and part 2. They just like,
that's true.
Fuck you. We're going to give it a cliffhanger. What's next week's episode there, number 1?
Freaking A, you asked me. I'm still COVID brained. Let's see.
I know what it is, but I like you doing it.
It is called... Wait, is this Prodigy?
Masquerade. Is this Prodigy?
No, I meant the page that I was on.
Masquerade. Masquerade.
Shut up. It's called Masquerade.
That's beautiful. You guys work so well together.
I feel like we should have the Phantom of the Opera song Masquerade playing in the background.
Yeah, well, the show will be aired on 11/24. So it was a fun episode, but I'm curious. This is the part I'm curious because I kept asking myself, but she wouldn't answer my hails when I went to find out right after I watched it. And she was like, but I haven't seen it yet, Captain. Leave me alone. I'm still hungover for my birthday. What would you give this on a 1 to 10, Heather?
I would give this a solid.
Ooh, solid.
I give it an 8.5.
Ooh.
No, I want to give it like just the right. Not too much, not too little. Like just the perfect number.
I heard that's what happens.
There is a perfect number?
I think there's a perfect number.
Whoa.
So, okay. Number 1.
I'll give it an 8. I was bummed that it was short.
It sounds like one of your dates.
Oh, these ratings things are just obviously related to length of something.
It wasn't the perfect length for Patrick.
It's just too short.
Nope.
It was too short.
They didn't know what to do with it.
No, it was revealed.
He couldn't feel it.
And Patrick was like, the last time I saw something like that, it had an eraser on it. So, so the man with the fun gun, Chief.
I like it big, apparently. Or, long number, big number. I'll give it a 9. This episode was wonderful. It left me wanting.
No whammies, no whammies.
It left me wanting more, like usual. And it had a really good, bunch of highlights in there with Janeway meeting Dahl. It was just such a fucking cool moment. And they handled it just perfectly.
Well, apparently it got let out that, what's his face from Saturday Night Live? Pete Davidson. He's also a 9.
Might even be bigger than that.
Who?
Pete Davidson.
According
to
a lot of people.
Co-star and everything else, his co-star and everything else, he said he measures a 9.
He has BDE.
Why do we care?
BD energy. We don't care. But,
Pete Davidson got hooked up with the Kardashians.
Yeah.
I still don't care.
I know. But you know what? I do care for one reason. I would love to have him meet you and realize he's still just a child. It's like, I got 9. Oh, really? I'm 9 when I'm soft, bitch. Step out.
Wasn't it just his birthday and he's like 28 or something? That technically is a child.
He's a kid.
Oh.
Yeah, he
If you're
is.
under 30, you're a child.
That was my birthday recently too, but I ain't nowhere near the 20s.
No, but he was smart enough to know he shouldn't have stayed with the Kardashians for that long. So there's that. I'll give him credit.
Gul Dukat's cool on the outside, but really not a nice guy.
No, I'm more like Garrett. Garrett is awesome.
Garrett's cool.
Garrett's a homo.
Garrett's awesome.
I would give this, I think I'm going to go almost a 9. So I'm going to give it about an 8 3/4. It was a good episode. I don't like the fact it was a cliffhanger. And I don't like the fact that Janeway is so blinded that she's not putting 2 and 2 together yet. She's putting 2 and 2 together yet. And she's got 5. And she's got this evil bastard on the ship that she hasn't figured out who he is. I mean, come on. You had a bona fide serial killer on your ship. Mind you, he helped save everybody. But just the same,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it all comes together for Janeway.
I agree.
What kind of cereal was it? Was it Blueberry or Frankenberry?
It was a Frankenberry.
Count Chocula.
It was a Frankenberry. Well, you know what? All cereals matter. So,
Jesus.
Ah, yes. As long as you pour some milk on it.
this is true. Okay, we're going to go ahead and finish up today because Patrick's got COVID brain and he needs to rest. And Heather's going into a cake coma.
Mm-hmm. I had a lot of cake.
And the Chief's got
Don't
to
leave it out in the rain.
fix some stuff because apparently Chief spun around too quick and he wasn't wearing his holster and knocked shit off the console. So he's got to fix that. So there's that.
Wait, I got one more song.
Oh, let's hear it.
No.
Let's hear it.
You want this cake? I want it. You want this cake? I want it. Yeah.
What's that from?
The Nicolas Cage. Okay, so go to YouTube, Google Nicolas Cage.
Don't go to YouTube.
I want this cake.
It's such a silly little
You
thing.
want this cake? I want
And
it.
Heather is incredibly impressed by it.
I thought it was going to be like the guy, the pineapple pen. I have a pineapple. I have a pen.
That's good.
Oh my
Pineapple
God.
pen.
Wow. I haven't heard that
Okay.
one in so long.
So,
I need to go to my cocoon. Let's go.
okay, we're going to go. First off, if you want to address any of the crew members here, you can reach us at The Collective at starfleetunderground.com. That is The Collective, all one word, at starfleetunderground.com. And no, we will not make games with you, so stop sending us emails about that.
But Patrick does review all of the pictures that have hot dogs in them.
Yes, he is our hot dog filter. And so he just does the thing from Dukes of Hazzard, Boss Gods. He's like, I can handle that. Oh my God, reject. That's an angry turtle.
Well, I like when he finds one that he really likes, he programs it into the holodeck.
Yeah, and he does lightsaber fights with them. But at any rate, please join us again next week. So again, thank you for another pretty cool episode and listening to our craziness because, yeah, we're all about that. So remember, just don't have a great week, but make it so.
And if you can, support the show by going to patreon.com/Starfleet Underground. Lots of perks to choose from, and you might even like some of them. Starfleet Underground, beaming into a podcast feed near you. Log on to our website at starfleetunderground.com and send your comments and questions to thecollective@starfleetunderground.com. Follow us on Twitter at StarfleetUnderG, and on Facebook and Instagram, we're Starfleet Underground.
What do you mean you get Tucker bleeding? I told you not to use the fucking spikes. Now he's going to be in sick bay until he's healed.
Mm-hmm. Sounds painful.
Be careful, the dots have sharp bits.
Oh, so he admitted that he turned off the biofilter when Patrick went in? Why? Because he turned them down, just like I thought. Yeah. He was mad because Patrick says, I can't see your dick, you have nothing but pubes. Just get him off the ship. What do you mean I forgot to hit the button to end the broadcast? Oh. I did not forget to hit the button to end the broadcast.